My name's Jordan Gulbranson, and it is October 24th, and it's about 6:30 in the morning. This is the first episode, or whatever you would like to refer to it as, our segment. Really could be called anything, I guess, of this deal that we're doing. I've thought about for a little while now doing some sort of financial media documentation of the things that I've been doing business-wise related to credit, business formation, advertising, marketing, different things like that. Still don't know what the name of this is going to be, and whatever the name of it is right away, we might end up changing it. Not really sure. So just wanted to start with this. You might make it 1 minute into this. You might make it through the whole thing, however long it is. Some of these will be in podcast type of format where there is no video to it, and some of these will be in video format. I do another podcast, and it's called Walk in Him, and I think there's close to 400 episodes right now, and man, it's all just Jesus and testimonies, and it's been really fun. I'm going to keep doing that as the Lord leads me to do it. But yeah, I wanted to do something very focused on the financial aspect of my life, just because I've learned so much over the last, it's almost 4 years now that I haven't had a job. I've just been totally self-employed. I'm 26, so I haven't had a job since I was 22, which is crazy. It's weird to think about. That was my last W-2 job. It would have been in early January of, I don't know what the year would have been. It would have been 2020 or 2021. One of the two. It's about 4 years ago. And it's been amazing. Gosh, I learned so much. And it's extremely humbling because, man, you think you got a plan. I remember right away being like, yeah, I never need to have any debt. I'm going to use cash for everything. Like, business is so cool. And quickly figured out, not too far down the road, that using debt, using credit, using loans is an incredible way to grow your business and avoid paying taxes. My first 2 years of business taxes, I remember the first year, they wrote up my taxes or whatever, they did my thing. I had some ladies do it, and the amount of money that they wanted for my taxes was all the money I had in my bank account. I remember thinking, wow, that's not good. And then the next year, I think I got to the end of it, I was doing better, and got to the end of that year, and the amount of money that they wanted was half the amount, or no, I think it was more than half of the amount of money, maybe 3/4 of what they wanted was what I had in my bank account. So I was like, well, we're doing better. We're still racking up tax debt, but I think I'm going to figure it out. And then, the third year, so this last spring, when I was doing my taxes for the third year of business, we did pretty darn good. We basically, we wiped out most of it, and what was left, I was actually able to pay. And I figured out the amount that it was. That was the first time ever in 3 years I was able to actually pay my taxes. I still have some tax debt from the prior years. Makes more sense to me to keep growing my business and just making little tiny miniature payments on that. I think I paid them like $200 a month on like 13 grand or something, which is, they're fine with it, I guess. But yeah, really using debt, using debt as a way to avoid taxes. And I don't know what this first episode will be, and even all the other ones, I'm sure that you'll end up with a mix of different things because it all kind of runs together. But yeah, ended up, I think that first year I got a loan on a truck from regular car dealership, old truck, 200,000 miles on it or something like that, and that thing ran pretty good though. It was a Ford F-150, and I also got a personal loan from one of my friends, Adam. It was a blessing. That's how I got my first gutter machine. I was going to his house every week and writing him out a check for $500, and it was so hard. Like it, oh my gosh. Like there was just times where it like barely worked. That beginning, honestly, that whole first year of doing business, and I would say even the first year and a half, was just crazy. I mean, it was wild trying to figure stuff out and almost running out of money. Wish I would have known about credit. Wish I would have started building credit, got some credit cards then. Wow, it would have made my life easier. And now where I would be at would be totally different if I would have had some revolving credit accounts. That'd be one of my recommendations to anybody starting out in business. I don't care what you believe about anything, man. Get a credit card right away. If you need to get a secured card, get a secured card. Work your way up. Get some other types of trade lines. Get like a Home Depot credit card or something, whatever makes sense for your business. If you're doing marketing, something like that. That way you have those revolving lines of credit. You can use them, and in the long term, you'll really be able to do some things if you have those. So, yeah, anyways, I think the next year, what did we do the next year? I think the next year I paid cash for like most of the things I had. I think I got an ice dam steamer. That's when I got that. And that was on a lease. And I think I just finished up the last payment of that, actually, or I'm about to this month, which is pretty cool. It's weird paying things off. like you sign it up, and we just paid that first truck off a couple months ago, too. It's like you sign up for it, and you think, well, this is just something that's a part of my monthly expenses now. But eventually you pay it off, and it's like, it's kind of cool. And then, I blew so much money. I bought this trailer for $3,000. It broke on the way home. Man, if I would have known about credit then, I could have bought a nice enclosed trailer. Paid less money for it up front. Never had any problems with it. But yeah, we put thousands of dollars into that old horse trailer. Oh, it was rough. And then I bought a van that first year too. And that thing broke down a lot. But we still got it. Chevy Express vans, man, they run good. It took some money to get it going at first, but once we had it, it was a blessing. I mean, it still is just a tank. It looks like the most beat up thing sitting in my driveway, but I mean, we use it all the time, and I think it's got 270,000 miles on it or something. But I barely put any money into it in the last year and a half, and we've drove it a lot. Then the third year, last year, man, just kind of went wild with it, and got a gutter machine in the spring, got a new gutter machine, ended up selling the other one. I tried to keep them both. Bought a box van the year prior, so then I had 2 box vans because I bought another one that spring, which was not good. I dumped $10,000 into the box van, and the Lord told me just to give it away. So we had it like finally up and running, about a month ago, and then the Lord was like, just give it away. So I gave it to somebody. We gave the other one away too. That one, oh man, I think I put $18,000 into it. Actually, I think it's closer to $22,000 we put into that one. And same thing, the Lord was like, just give it away. And man, there's nothing like just sticking it to the devil. I can't tell you how pumped I get thinking about that, because man, the enemy would love for us to obsess over our losses and obsess over trying to make a profit. And I knew God was telling me, just give it away. Oh, it's fun. It's so fun. The Lord's amazing. Got a big, long trailer. That thing, dude, it's 30 feet long, and it's just been sitting at my uncle's. Tried to start a pallet business, realized I didn't have time. Should have figured that out first. But now I'm doing crypto stuff, and I got time for that. I got time for crypto and stocks and whatever, because I can just do it on my phone and use cold storage devices and all that, and you don't need a lot of time to do it. So I wish I would have figured that out a year and a half ago, but I didn't. So now I got this 30-foot trailer out of my uncle's that I don't know what to do with it. I was thinking about giving that away. I wish I could, but I really can't. I think we're going to trade it in for a dump trailer, because I still owe money on it. That's why it's like, I can't give it away. Otherwise, I think it would make sense, just because I don't have room for it. We did have, when Maggie and I first got married, we had so many things in our driveway. We had that 30-foot pallet trailer, 2 box vans, my truck, her car, and another van. It was like way too much. It was like twice the stuff we have in there now. It's insane. So she's happy about that too. We look less like the dump, the dump driveway in the neighborhood. Bought a truck last year too. Bought a 2014 Chevy Silverado pickup, and then just a couple weeks ago bought a Ford E-Transit, and it's totally electric. It's a completely electric van. I'm using it now for my gutters, and I'll use it for the ice dam steaming in the winter time. And the range on it is not like amazing, but it at least gets me to where I need to go, to where if I need to charge, I have my big generator with me. I already had a big generator, but I upgraded it one size because I use Harbor Freight. And so anytime that I need a new generator, which is about every year, I bring it in. They give me a new one, and I can upgrade the size too if I like. So I just upgraded it one size, and now I'm able to charge my electric van, which a lot of people would make fun of or whatever, but it's crazy. Even if I need to do that, like if I work somewhere that's like, an hour and a half away from my house and I need to charge while I'm there, I can go to that job site. It cost me $7 for me to charge overnight at my house. And then I drive out to the job site. I might pay $25 to fill the van back up if I'm charging with the generator. So that's $32. And that's driving for hours, Like my box van, man, that thing, that was a 50-gallon tank. That costs anywhere from $150 to $170 to fill that thing up, and I can only drive for 4 hours. So the electric is pretty cool, dude. I don't know, in the wintertime, like, I know the range is probably even going to get cut in half at times when it's super cold, but still, it's like, man, I'm saving so much money with that thing. It's cool. I guess we're just talking about like equipment loans and vehicle loans and stuff. I really wanted to this year move everything over to unsecured credit cards, but I'm just not in the place to do it. So I ended up getting that van, just a normal auto loan again. And, but yeah, I'm working on building, like, I have really good credit because I have all these different loans, but I don't have revolving lines of credit. So I'm working on setting those up. I'm doing some different things. I'm using an app called Nav, and then started another LLC, like specifically for securing financing, like unsecured credit cards. And that was a lot of work setting it up. So much learning to try and build a business with like a fundable foundation where you have the address set up correctly, the EIN, the phone number, the email, the business structure, the articles, everything like that. And what I missed was the Net 30 accounts, which is like, same thing, just trade lines that show up. I wish I would have set them up months ago, but it took me several months to even get a bank account set up. The lady at Wells Fargo I talked to when I first tried to set up an account, she thought I was like a drug dealer or something because the way I had the address set up. And so that wasn't good. I still haven't even went back in there. I set up a bank account online. That lady was very like, she was extremely rude and disrespectful, and I do want to do business with them, but I knew right away, I'm like, I think I need to do this differently for now, just because there's other things I'm trying to figure out as well, but I do want to continue with Wells Fargo as a bank, and that lady is not, that honestly, her being that way and being in the place she's in, it's kind of a sign to me from the Lord, like, okay, I should be doing business with this bank because these guys need Jesus, man. You think about how many people that lady has been rude to or been a certain way with, and they just got upset and complained or talked smack to her or whatever, and it's like, no, man, I'm going to pray for those people. Man, if there's gay people working there, I'm going to pray for them, dude. Jesus loves those people. He died for those people. And I want to live my life that way for those people too. But yeah, right now just got the personal checking set up with Wells Fargo. And then I got my main bank, Mid-Minnesota. They are a credit union. And I've been with them since I was 16. So I'm trying to figure out, at least with my business, my main business with Gloryworks, how to structure it properly in a way where I'm using as much credit as I can from those guys, because I haven't done anything with them other than a secured credit card, and that's really been it. And I I hadn't used it. I got it like 2 years ago. I hadn't used it up until the last month or so. Didn't realize the exact date of the statement date, or the due date, and it's in like the middle of the month, man. I was thinking it was on the 1st or it was on the very last day of the month, but it's in the middle of the month, so I messed up my credit utilization from that. It shot up to like 40%, so I think I gotta wait a month or so to when it's back down to be able to get something set up. When I had bought the new electric van, the amount of things that went wrong right after that were crazy. I'd never used contracts for my business. Doing it 3 years or so, right? Like, I never had used written contracts. I always would just be like, yeah, I don't need a down payment. I don't do contracts. You just pay me when it's done. And I've gotten ripped off like several times from that, Like, I've lost thousands of dollars. I've lost probably $6,000 from that. And, but that wasn't the reason that I set up contracts. What happened was, after buying that van, my invoices shot up to a higher amount than they'd ever been. Normally, I might have about $8,000 out in invoices. If it's a heavier amount, it might be 12. But all of a sudden, I buy that van. A week later, I got like over $20,000 out in invoices, which is bad. It's not good. We still had enough cash to do everything. We were fine, but I knew, I'm like, if this goes another week, if this goes another 2 weeks of not getting paid, this is going to be tight. It's going to be bad. So I ended up staying up late one night, writing up contracts, figuring out like a physical construction contract, structuring it to where I now take down payments for every job. I knew it'd be harder to do sales like that. I knew it would take more time because some of them I got to go back to collect the down payment. But it's like, man, I'm so much... I already, after doing that for like a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, I have so much more cash available, which at the beginning of the business, it's like, man, I was driving around in beater vehicles. I did not look trustworthy in any way. Like, some of them didn't even have logos on them. So it's like, for me to try to take down payments and do all that, like, it would have been probably not good, probably wouldn't have worked well. But now it's like I got nice stuff. I look like I'm all fancy and whatever, so I think people are a lot more responsive to it. On the advertising side, I've spent a little over $30,000 on Facebook ads. I've done other kinds of advertising too, so I've probably spent like $35,000 to $37,000 on advertising, somewhere in there, since starting my business. And people laugh at that, man. But what it is these construction guys, they're doing all their work for contractors, but they're not realizing they could be getting paid 2 or 3 times as much, or even 4 times as much, if they were working independently, selling their own jobs. So, man, I tell people that sometimes when I talk about advertising, and they laugh, or they would almost make fun of what I was doing. But I'm like, man, at the end of the day, I'm making so much more money than you because I've taken the time to set this up. And a lot of people don't get that, man. Like, just spending money on advertising it's a total game changer. And you don't have money to spend on advertising. That's the thing. The reason you don't have money to spend on advertising is because you didn't spend money on advertising. I remember having like $2,000 in the bank account, and I set up some ads, and it was like most of that money worth of Facebook ads. I'm like, if this doesn't work in a couple weeks, I'm finished. And it did. And it took me like several months of going, knocking on doors, handing out flyers, doing different things, trying all these different ways. And finally the Lord I felt like the Lord led me to be like, just take all your money, spend it on advertising. And that's essentially what I did. And ever since then, I never ran out of work. I think right away, there were weeks I would spend $600 to $1,000 a week on Facebook advertising. Had no idea what I was doing. It was like taking a rocket launcher and shooting it into like a tiny little fish pond, full of fish. Like, maybe that's not the right word. I don't know what would be, but you're gonna hit something. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that didn't even make sense. Maybe if it was taking a rocket launcher, shooting it into a cornfield, you're going to hit something. There might be like a squirrel out there, or like a deer. You keep shooting that rocket launcher, you will hit something. Maybe that's a better analogy. So right away, that's what I was doing. I think I got to check my GPS here. And, just kept getting better and better at the advertising. Figuring all that stuff out. And this year I've spent less on ads than I ever have. It's crazy. Last year I could have saved a ton of money if I wasn't trying to do so much. I had 3 months where I didn't make any money. Like, I had the same amount of money at the end of that 3 months that I had at the beginning. And it wasn't from like some crazy amount of investing or anything, or buying new equipment. It was just, I had both of my now brother-in-laws, Elijah and Micah, they were working with me. And we were just paying so much for insurance and like expenses and things breaking and all this stuff. And I realized, I'm like, man, it's a lot of work to try and keep 3 guys and then another part-time guy busy every day. It was crazy. So I ended up, both of them aren't working with me now. I've just got Bob working for me, and he set up his own LLC now, so he's getting paid as a independent contractor, which is really cool. Because I thought about talking to him about that and setting that up a while ago, but it just made sense over the last couple months to do it, and it's been really sweet. Now he's doing other things with that LLC too, to generate income, which is so cool to see. And Bob's worked with me for this whole time, basically since I've been self-employed. When I had the marketing company before this, he was working for me doing that. We'd sit at Taco Bell for hours and make videos. And it was cool. I think that's all I got for this one. I want to just give it a rest, but maybe that was a good intro deal. We talked about just a little bit of my story in business, I guess, and and talked about credit. Some talked about loans. Talked about taxes a little bit. I think that's all. Didn't even really hit crypto. Probably going to talk about crypto a bunch on here. So anyways, that's it for now. God bless you guys. Have a good day.